Nostalgianomics. So, the Pokemon hobby is in a pretty strong place. And if you don't know what I mean, I'm going to jump over to the PC and I'm going to show a bunch of charts and graphs and statistics in a second to show you just how strong a place it is in terms of worldwide growth, worldwide popularity, total sales, and it'll give you a better idea of just how well the Pokemon company is handling this. But before we do that, I wanted to come in here and have a quick chat first because I've been doing a lot of thinking lately about the channel, and I've been doing a lot of reflecting about the growth and kind of the evolution over the past year and a half. Because those of you who have been with me since the beginning, you know how difficult of a journey this has been. When I started this channel, I received a whole lot of hate from all over the Pokemon investing community, creators and non-creators alike. And I was on a lot of different live streams where I had a lot of disagreements with a lot of different people. I had a lot of chats and comment sections that showed me a lot of hate. And I felt like I was constantly on the battlefield, right? I felt like I was constantly going to battle for these ideas or these theories that I had. And then somewhere along the line, the battle started getting fewer and fewer, and the drama and beef I had with a lot of these creators started to subside. And here we are in mid-2023, and I feel like we finally reached a spot in the hobby where I feel like I at least hope I had a small portion, a small part to play in getting us here. But we're in a spot in the hobby where Pokemon Modern Sealed investing is actually an accepted part of your Pokemon investing portfolio. And I know it sounds crazy, especially from where we came from, because I'm not lying. Anyone who was here from the beginning knows the amount of hate I got. And I get it. It was probably because we were coming off the back of the big boom where everything was, hyped up and there was all the FOMO and there was all the, pump and dumps. I get that. But I've been back in the hobby now for over 8 years. And I've seen this constant pattern of sealed product rising in value over time. Of course, there's ebbs and flows, ups and downs, but over long periods of time, as the product gets open, disappears into permanent collections, and overall just disappears from the market, the prices do rise because of the scarcity. And what else I liked about the whole modern sealed aspect is, when I looked around at the whole Pokemon investing community when I got in, it was really based around these really, deep, knowledgeable individuals, right? Who really like to do these gigantic deep dives, know all the pop reports, find all these real niche areas of the hobby, and spend large amounts of time, being able to kind of download all this information into your mind to where you had to spend, a bazillion years basically to learn enough to be able to even qualify to start investing in the cards or in the items in the ways that these people were. And I just felt like it was really alienating to a huge portion of the population that was getting involved in this hobby. And when I looked at Modern Seal, I said, well, this is something that I've been doing now for years. It's continuously worked. The price point is actually affordable for anyone getting into a hobby, buying Pokemon cards. You already have a certain amount of disposable income, so it's basically affordable for everyone that wants to do it. It's widespread, it's everywhere, right? So the supply is there for everyone to do it if they wanted to, whereas the supply of some of the cards and some of the items being talked about on a lot of these real niche investing channels, really everyone couldn't do them. One, because they were too expensive, and two, because they were scarce. There was only a certain amount on the market, so if enough people wanted to do it, there's not enough to go around. And so that's why I really felt so strongly about this. But at that point, Modern Sealed product was seen as kind of like laughable, right? It was seen as like surface level. You weren't deep enough in the hobby yet. Once you're in the hobby longer, you'll learn and you'll understand that, that's just for the kids. That's just for the hype. But if you actually want to invest in this stuff, you have to travel down the rabbit hole and find all these really, these niche cards and all these real rare and vintage stuff. And it wasn't really accepted, but somewhere along the line, the community's changed their mind. And it's actually a lot more accepted now, and it's actually become a part of basically any Pokemon investor's portfolio. I mean, you talk to almost anyone now, even the most hardcore, niche, vintage, rare, scarce fans, they even now have Modern Sealed product as part of their collection or investment. And it's just really great to see. I feel like a soldier coming off the battlefield. I feel like I'm finally not putting up the fight anymore. I feel like I'm finally able to just make content, enjoy the hobby, collect and invest in the things I want to, have awesome guests on to hear, their different views and their different philosophies in the hobby. And it's just been a lot more enjoyable. And so I hope everyone else has been enjoying the hobby a lot more now that a lot of that beef and drama is over with, now that there isn't a, kind of a stigma or a hatred surrounding those who want to invest in modern sealed product. And it's a great place to be. So with that being said, let's jump over to the PC. I got a lot of information I think is going to be pretty helpful to you. All right, so just before we get into those numbers, I do want to mention the live box break is happening this Sunday, June 11th. If you haven't purchased packs yet and you do want to, you can go to nostalgianomics.com. The link's in the description. So right on the home page, you can purchase packs for Paldea Evolved, Unbroken Bonds, or Unified Minds. There are still packs available for all of them, and they will be opened live on screen Sunday night. Also, if you are planning on purchasing more than 2 packs, you may want to consider signing up for the Nomics Fan Plus membership. It is only $4.99, and you do get a 10% discount on every pack purchase. There is no limit. If you don't want to partake in any of this, no problem, and you just want to still support the channel, you can join the Nomics fam. You get a bunch of cool badges after your name the longer you're here. You get some cool emotes to use during the live chats, and you get to support the channel. So whatever way works for you, really appreciate all the support everyone shows. Jumping into some of these numbers, though. Okay, so if anyone doesn't know what this is Google Trends. You can go to Google, search Google Trends. You can search all this for yourself. What I did was I searched the popularity of Pokemon search results in the past 5 years. So I typed in the Pokemon game, and what I found was pretty surprising. You can basically not even pick out when the Logan Paul pandemic 2020-2021 boom was. I mean, you can obviously see it was a lot less popular before then, but then afterwards, you can't really see where it ended because in terms of popularity, it never did. We are still at or near peak popularity in the Pokemon hobby worldwide in terms of people searching for it online. And I think the reason is one, obviously China really getting involved. Japan, the Japanese product, it's been hotter than ever. Obviously, things still are still hot in the U.S. We got Canada. We got a lot of things happening in the U.K. and in Europe. We got Australia. There's massive popularity of Pokemon cards across the globe right now, which is carrying the popularity in total. So, if people thought Pokemon was slowing down or getting less popular, not at all. Now, you may be asking yourself, though, how does it compare to other card games? So what I did was I got Magic the Gathering, we have Yu-Gi-Oh! I even threw in MetaZoo just for fun. Not to throw shade at any MetaZoo collectors out there, but when you see the chart, you're probably going to be a little upset. So in the last 5 years, even after MetaZoo was released, you can see this yellow line down here with a few blips. That's kind of the popularity of MetaZoo compared to Yu-Gi-Oh! And Magic up here. So Yu-Gi-Oh! Is going to be in the red, Magic's going to be in the blue. You can see for the past 5 years, they fought neck and neck for the more popular search result spot. But it wasn't until recently when Yu-Gi-Oh! Had a massive spike kind of during the 2021-2022 time and then had a massive fall afterwards. It's pretty consistently been searched for less than Magic. So Yu-Gi-Oh's been losing a lot of their popularity while Magic has been sort of gaining or at least staying consistent. Now, you may be asking yourself, well, what does Pokemon look like when we compare it to all of these? Well, it might surprise you. So first off, Pokemon is an IP. It's not even close, right? It leaves everything else to shame. It's the biggest one on the planet. When you search Pokemon next to Magic the Gathering, Yu-Gi-Oh! MetaZoo, it basically, you can't even compare them. That's how off it is. However, this is not the Pokemon trading card game. If we were to edit that search and search for just the trading card game, it's going to look a lot different. I'll show you what I mean. So Pokemon as a trading card game has always lagged the others. It hasn't been as popular as a game or as a search result on Google. However, once we did see in the past 5 years the growth, it has now reached and eclipsed Yu-Gi-Oh! And then it's been neck and neck with Magic over the last year or a few months. It looks like Magic's still holding on pretty decently, but Pokemon game popularity, again, it's at an all-time high, and it is starting to surpass even the other card games, even though they were more searched for, they were more played before. Now Pokemon is starting to even surpass those in the card game. Now, if that isn't enough good news, I do have this little tool as well. So Dan, Catch 'em All Collectibles, shout out to him. He showed this on his channel, which I didn't know it existed until he showed it. So in your seller hub on eBay, you can scroll all the way to the right and see they have this little research bar. If you click that, you can actually research products and how well they're selling over certain periods of time. And you get a bunch of data on them. So what I did was I searched Pokemon, and I searched it from 2021, June 8th, which is today, through 2022, and also from 2022 to 2023. And so what we're going to see is a few differences. One, from 2021 to 22, you're going to see the average sales price is a little higher than what we see now at $38. But you're going to see that the total sold is a lot lower. So we were about 78.8 million back from that year. In this last year, we've sold a total of 8.2 million. So about a 360,000 total sold increase. However, when you go over and look at the total sales, you're going to say, well, Alex, there's only a 319 million total sales here. There used to be 361 million total. That means things are decreasing. It's dying. But really, you just need to do a little math. So it all has to do with the average sale price dropping. So if we look at the average sale price of 45.96, and we were to multiply that by the amount of sales being made today, which is 8.2 million, it's going to look a lot different. I'll show you what I mean. So once you put that in the calculator, you're going to see that would look more like 378 million, which would actually be a growth year over year to what we saw back in 2021, 2022. And so the reason for this is the average sale fell because all the vintage, all the mid-era, a lot of the modern, semi-modern things, they saw huge price drops, right? The big giant, boom and burst was over. The Logan Paul, the pandemic, it ended. So that's why the average sale price dropped. However, the average sale price now is rising. You're seeing over these last few months, in May, it's up in the 40s, and in June, it's in the 40s, almost eclipsing 50. So if this average sale price continues to rise back up in this next year, and the total sales are continuing to grow like they have, you're going to see this total sales number absolutely explode. We could see 400 million plus this year. And so with all this data at our fingertips, being able to research it, it just goes to show Pokemon sales aren't dying. Pokemon popularity is not dying. This hobby is as strong as ever. And it makes me feel more comfortable than ever continuing to keep investing in modern sealed product and continue to keep the investments that I have and not get FOMO and, scared about everything going on and start dumping everything. So I hope this at least gives, you bulls out there a little more to be bullish about. All the bears out there thinks the sky's falling. Maybe it gives you guys something else to think about and maybe, stop panicking a little too much. And I hope it helps. Other than that though, again, if you want to take part in the box breaks, hope you do. And hope you enjoyed the video. It's nice to be at more of a calm spot on YouTube. There's not the vintage versus modern debates every night. There's not all the hatred for modern sealed. There's not all this drama and beef going on. It feels nice to have some regular conversations and produce some regular content in the community these days. So I hope you guys are enjoying it too. If you're not subscribed to the channel, consider subscribing, and I'll be back here in a new video soon. I'm out.